The healthcare delivery system is extremely complex. Health maintenance and healthcare provision are the primary functions of the healthcare delivery system. Laws and standards have been developed to protect society and maintain and promote accountability for safe practice in the healthcare system. Laws are what a given government defines as minimal acceptable behavior on the part of an individual or group. Ethics delineate the highest moral standards of behavior. The following slides have a code of ethics developed from philosophy representing different ethnic cultures and/or religion. Please review the following 7 slides. The law influences many decisions made by nurses. As nursing has evolved to a more independent level, they are more responsible for their actions and decisions. The general concepts are to do good, don't harm, value freedom, value fairness, value truth, and value life. The Human Behavior Continuum considers ethical and legal dilemmas associated with human behavior. Ethical decisions are known to be rules and regulations that are held at a higher level than the law. They are one's moral values and beliefs that influence decision making. Law cannot dictate what a person should do in every circumstance. They define what most individuals should do to protect the rights and properties of others. The differentiation is ethics are unclear. Ambiguity exists. It's individualized. There are gray areas. Individuals do the deciding. There are changes with societal attitude changes. It is known as right things to do. There is ethics committee involvement. Ethical guidelines do not have a formal enforcement nor a law officer system. Laws are clear rules of conduct. They're impartial. There are no gray areas. It is either black or white. Courts decide. They do not keep pace with society. It is known as doing things right. There is legal counsel and regulated by authorized organizations. Ethics use words like should and may. Laws use words like must and shall. Here are a few principles of nursing ethics. Beneficence means to actively do good. Caring. The professional area of law regarding beneficence is professional negligence. Non-maleficence means to do no harm. Tort law and some other statutory laws enforce ethical value of do not harm. Legalities include intentional torts of batter, assault, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is where abuse reporting comes in. Autonomy, the right to make decisions. Consent law, advance directives. There are still cases surrounding HIV, AIDS, and transplant. It also includes freedom or autonomy of the clinician and giving of futile care. There is also concern with caregiver decisions. Justice, fairness to all people, rights, liberty, life and property enforces with the due process and equal protection guarantees. Social justice, it's an attempt to force a law to enforce to do good. There are labor laws and anti-discrimination laws that also enforce justice. Fidelity, faithful to commitments. There is contract law and employment law, whistleblowing laws that are protected by veracity, informed consent, and it includes privacy and confidentiality. And finally, we have veracity. The definition of veracity is truth-telling. Okay, let's talk about life. There is a time to be born and a time to die. The process of conception and birthing can be through artificial insemination, in vitro fertilization, surrogate motherhood, stem cell research, abortion, and neonates. A time to die includes myths and assumptions of society regarding dying. Factors that are considered are old people, brain death, persistent vegetative state, quality of life, dehydration, CPR, suicide, euthanasia, and assisted suicide. Every state differs in laws regarding these elements of life and death. Ethical laws and state laws tend to be in conflict with one another when it comes to these issues. Do values have conflict? What are values? Values are beliefs and concepts that individuals and groups hold at the most meaningful in their lives. Considering that no one person's beliefs or concepts are identical, then yes, values do have conflicts. Values are also known as principles of nursing ethics. Nurses have legal responsibilities. Many issues nurses face require legal knowledge. Standards of care, licensure laws, and negligence and malpractices and other issues related to liability determine the nurse's responsibilities. Methods such as accuracy in documentation or the performance of a procedure as well as professional accountability and responsibility ensure legal accountability. Listed are the important sources for nursing ethical and legal responsibilities, laws, and expected behavior. Anyone can sue anyone at any time for anything, but they can't win unless you, the care provider, had a duty and you breached the standard of care and that breach was the cause of the patient's injury. Malpractice is professional negligence. The definition is an act or failure to act by a professional in a reasonable and prudent manner in conducting professional duties as defined by members of the profession. So the question is, to carry or not to carry malpractice insurance? No one can tell you whether to get malpractice insurance or not. When you're working, most organizations cover their employees under their insurance. There are companies that offer independent malpractice insurance and prices do vary. When I was first completing my RN education, it was explained to me that if a professional carried malpractice insurance, they would automatically be listed in a lawsuit. So, malpractice insurance can be a hindrance, but it can also be helpful at times. So the decision to carry malpractice insurance will be left up to you, the individual, as a professional. So let's talk about duty. What is the term duty? Duty is defined as the patient must have been your patient. Where did the incident happen? Did you avoid harm? And we also need to consider the Good Samaritan statutes. Breach in standard of care is identified as failure to act in accord with accepted practice. Standard of care is the process of providing care that a reasonable and prudent clinician would give in similar circumstances. End of Part 1, Legalities and Ethics.